Good morning, everyone. Ginette Biro here. I'm a medium and a channeler. And this week, we are going to do something a little bit different, or I'm going to do something a little bit different, which is I'm going to do this whole week's reading today because I'm going away this week. I'm going to spend some time in nature without my phone, without computers, without anything, just time to be with my family and sit in that energy of play that I keep talking about and that keeps coming through the cards. And spending that downtime to recalibrate, recenter, receive messages, all of that kind of stuff. Spirit has been saying to me, Ginette, take time away. And as much as I love doing these, I'm going to completely listen to that guidance. So I'm going to be away. But what that means for you guys is we are doing an extra intense card pull to carry you all through the week. So you can refer back to this video at any time during the week to kind of listen again if something comes up, because every time you listen to it, you're gonna pick up something different, or you'll be reminded of something that maybe you've forgotten. You're like, oh yeah, that came up. And the way I'm gonna make this extra special is I'm using 3 decks today, so it's gonna be a longer reading. The first one, we're gonna pull from the Guiding Light Oracle, and that's gonna be our overall theme, okay? Then we're gonna use the Light Seers Tarot, where we're gonna get our main messages. And then I'm going to pull from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck for any confirmations. All right, so we're going to do something really fun here and get everything we can so we can kind of embrace the week. So let's get started first of all. Hold on here. All right, Spirit, what kind of messages can you share with us to carry us through the week this week in our highest frequency, our highest light? We already have one jumper. I love that. Okay, hold on. Okay, they're saying actually, first of all, they also want to add in a specific just kind of channeled brought through message for you guys. And what that is they say, can you also remind them to really use intuition this week? Use your ability to tune into self, recognizing you are as important as your connection to spirit. You are equal partnership. Yin Yang is essentially you, spirit. If you want to look at it like you are the black part of that yin yang symbol and spirit is the white part, black meaning density. That could be one way you look at it. Spirit and the white meaning the light. However you want to see it, recognize that you are equal partnership in it. And you carry that sense of spirit within you, just as the spirit world carries that sense of us within them. We are a cohesive unit working together. So they're saying, please remember that throughout this whole week, that your own intuition, your own spiritual sense of self matters as much as your ability to tune into spirit. So really, really neat thought there. Okay, one more card. Beautiful. Okay, so the theme for this week, first of all, the jumper was freedom of choice. This one says, your choices are yours to make. Don't allow others to make your choices for you. This is so much free will. I did a video just recently on the concept of free will and destiny in your blueprint, and this really echoes that. This echoes your ability to choose in every moment how you're going to show up. Whether you're going to take something very seriously or whether you're going to be lighthearted about it, whether you're going to dive into something deeply or take the time to step back and rest. You get to choose, regardless of the circumstances, what you're going to do in those circumstances. So we may not be able to control the entirety of everything that's happening to us, but we can control the entirety of how we react to it at any point. And that doesn't always mean it's going to be easy, but that means you have control. That's your freedom of choice, your free will. So free will is going to be a big theme this week, as well as this card, which says crossroads here. This says a new business, adventure, project, or career is currently in the works for you. So this really speaks to like transitional energies of moving through something. And we've talked about it, how we're kind of in this liminal space since the solstice until the end of the summer. We're in this like transition space, this crossroads space, this point where Spirit's reminding me, they showed me a vision the other day of standing at like a crossroads essentially, and there were signs, and it's like, which way do you want to go? which way do you want to go? Because whichever way you choose is going to dictate what is being brought to you. And so if you stay aligned with your free will of choice, feeling into what feels most authentic to you in the highest alignment, you will draw these things to you. Now, some of you might actually be at this crossroads of having to make a choice. And so they're saying really tune into your heart center of where your soul is calling you to go. Sometimes it might not fully make sense. It doesn't mean you have to act on it in that second, but give it space to entertain the idea. Okay, something to consider with this crossroads idea. Now let's move on to the tarot and see what Spirit wants to share through the tarot deck. I really like blending tarot and oracle cards together because tarot is very traditional in the way that it is read. There's a keen sense to it. I'm not going to take that one because it kind of flubbed out. Tarot has some really nice traditional messages that are kind of like a reliable story to pick from, whereas oracle is a lot more interpretive, which is fantastic too. But that's why I like combining the two of them. So, okay, jumper number one. I'm going to pull 4 cards here with tarot. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Beautiful. Okay, so with this crossroads and freedom of choice theme, we have a jumper of the 10 of Cups, which is happiness. Okay, so our message here is that this freedom of choice, this crossroads that we're at, is to bring us to our place of happiness, emotional happiness, relationship happiness. This is a card of like wishes fulfilled and living them. So whatever crossroads you're at, you are essentially stepping into that to bring these dreams to reality. And in that journey of the crossroads, we have a really interesting thing. When we approach those new juncture points, there's often a phase of 5 of Swords and 10 of Swords. So swords are all about the mind. Spirit was talking to me a lot about the mind this morning when I woke up. They said, you know, a lot of people need to tune in to the energy and the chatter within the mind space and clean that up. That's a really important thing. And I thought that was interesting. And I'm not surprised we're seeing this in the cards because the 5 of Swords, first of all, speaks about kind of grief, worry, stress energy, disappointments as well. But you can see how this guy is disappointed here, but look what happens when he lets them go. You see him standing on the other side of this, and it's like a mountaintop up here. And that's the freedom from releasing it. That's the freedom from making free will choices that align with self. So wherever you are in this journey, you might be partway through, or you might be at this freedom point. Celebrate that. So as you move through these transition points, this crossroad, notice where grief, sadness, worry comes up and the steps that you can take to move through it to give yourself that freedom. And that is really amplified. This card's amplified here by the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands is the end of a long journey. You can see how much this lady is carrying a burdensome load throughout this long journey, and she's able to put these down. And I love that we have 2 10s because 10s really talk about completions and culminations. And interestingly enough, one of the cards that flubbed out before was the World card, which is the ultimate card of completion. So there's a real completion theme happening here. So these transitions and crossroads that we're kind of moving through are allowing us to put down our burdens, release them, whether they be emotional, energetic. Oh, I was saying swords. This is Wands, 10 of Wands. So the 10 of Wands is releasing the burdens. This is the mental game here. This is allowing us to put it down, And the reason why is then it's followed by the 4 of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is new beginnings, new things taking root. You can see how there's roots coming through the hands there. New things are being planted and taking root to bring you 4 of Pentacles energy, which is stability. 4 of Pentacles energy is stability financially, but also emotionally in your presence on this planet. So human stability, right? In all of the ways that that can be. Think of the 4 legs on a table, right? That's a lot of stability. So that's what this card is talking about, is these new seeds are being planted as you move through this transition phase, as you make those free will choices, you're continually planting these seeds of stability for you so that you can essentially let go of the grief and the worry and let go of the burden, all to bring yourself to this point of 10 of Cups, reaping these beautiful rewards. Look at the colors in this card too. We've got rainbow colors representing all of the experiences we can have through the chakras, through our spiritual awakening, through our mind, body, spirit connection, through the beauty in the world, the rainbow being one of the most reassuring signs from spirit that there is goodness to come. So there's a lot of goodness to be shared there. So let's get some confirmation cards here from the Wisdom of Oracle deck as we round out the energy of this week. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's so funny. They showed it to me in my head. What I'm smiling about is the milk and honey card. As I was talking about this, I was thinking I should mention the milk and honey card because it popped into my head. And this one came out right at the end. So again, it's talking about the fruits of the goodness we are manifesting. It is exactly this card. So this is the same card tarot as it is an oracle. This beautiful signs, you guys, to manifest the things for you, to celebrate the things that you have. These people here are celebrating their joy. This elephant here is celebrating its joy, right? The elephant is sitting in the energy of the abundance of nourishment of milk and honey. The elephant's trunk is up and it's playing in the water, and the elephant being that symbolism of obstacles being removed, and the trunk up being a symbolism of joy and good luck and harmony. This is the last card that I pulled. I have 3 others to talk about, but I wanted to jump to this because this is what we're working towards. This is what we need to focus on. And to do that, we need to be present in the here and now, right? Here and now is where life is happening. Here and now is where the triggers come up. Here and now is where the joy comes up. All the present moments are where those things are happening. And in every single present moment is where we get to have freedom of choice of what we want to do, how we want to feel, who we want to become. This is where we make whatever changes are needed, or this is where we amplify the energy of what we need to do. So this is a good thing. So in this energy of here and now, we have the opportunity to regenerate. That's what this card is saying, regeneration, where we can nourish our bodies, we can rest if needed, but we can also watch how our energy and our body and our life is transforming before our eyes. That's a beautiful thing. That's what we see here with this Ace of Pentacles card. The things that we're planting can transform, and it can bring forward these beautiful synchronistic events. That's a powerful thing and a powerful position to be in, to observe those events happening. And as we're in that energy of regeneration, it's also important to let go. This card says time to go. This is time to move forward, like we talked about before. Release anything from the past. With this crossroads card here, right? Talking about new projects, new ventures, new relationships, new connections coming. To have those really fall into our path, we need to let go of the past. We need to run willingly into the future with a really grounded sense of self in our present moment, trusting that if we're present in the moment now, setting the intentions and desires for what we want to manifest, as we move forward on our path, those wooden slats will appear and guide us to the doorway that we wish to have. And what's on the other side of that doorway? 10 of Cups energy, milk and honey energy, because remember, this was the last card that came out. So I love this. This was our jumper card for the tarot deck, and this was our final card for the confirmations. It's stunning, you guys. So this week, truly, this is a week to focus on conscious choice, free will choice in every moment. How do you want to feel? And then really make room for those beautiful synchronistic events to come into your path. Notice when they're here, but don't get too carried away of living over there, waiting for them. Be present here and let them come to you. And while you're waiting, let go of the past. Let that energy, any of those anchors that you don't need, let them go so you can be present here. Put down your burdens, release your grief, be in the present moment so that you can really manifest stability. And then you will bring forward the ultimate goodness. So you guys, I think that's a beautiful reading for this week. May that bring you nourishment. Like I said, please come back to this video if you need the reminder during the week. That's what they're here for. Let it refill your energy with goodness. Maybe you'll notice how you're moving through these different phases throughout the week and be like, oh, wow, I think I've moved on to the present phase or the regeneration phase now, and now it's Thursday, or however you move through it, notice it. And I'm so curious to see how you guys feel. Definitely leave some comments. If you have questions or thoughts or you want to share, it's beautiful when we share this energy of goodness. I think it lifts everybody up. And I'm going to go spend some time in nature, and I will see you guys again next week. So have a beautiful week. Know that I have so much gratitude for each and every one of you. And I'll see you next week.